Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Shut Door or Door Shutter, coming back to you with episode 32 of the All the Mods 9 series. And today we are actually getting into a little bit of something we did in a live stream between this episode and last, which is actually the ore processing system that we have. Of course, it's the three timesing raw ores. I couldn't figure out a good way to power this system. So I was looking around and I was thinking, what do we have available to do this? Well, I don't know if this is our answer, but this is something that I honestly kind of didn't even think was a thing. But modular routers has an ability to kind of distribute power amongst uh, machines, and it's really interesting. So we're gonna look at this here. We're gonna grab a modular router. We're gonna grab a new distributor node. Ooh, looks like I did not auto craft this, but that's okay. Let's quickly just grab it here. Okay, so output, and then we're gonna grab one of these. Perfect. Okay, so we'll also want some energy upgrades. It just increases the capacity of your actual buffer point, by the way. Nothing too fancy. So we can put this down. We can give this an energy distribution model after we click on the machines we want. So I'm going to do this machine, this machine, this machine, this machine. Come to the back here. Do this machine, and this machine. This can do up to 8, right? And we've only done 7 there. So that's a good thing. So we're going to do that. We're going to toss in some energy upgrades. So it looks like we can put up to a stack in here. Let's go and find what a million is. So a million looks like it is 20 of these to then be able to get that point. Okay. So let's do mechanism, ultimate pipes. That's what I was looking for. And then we're going to do flux point. We're just going to grab our configurator, just so we know things are being pushed and pulled. So let's go over to here. It's kind of a waste of energy what I just did, but that's okay. 20. Perfect. Alright, so real quick, I'm looking at ways to improve moving between floors here. I know somebody suggested travel anchors. One of the problems with travel anchors is if they are in a direct line, or if it's far enough down, you will not be able to see it, unless of course you get like range 3 and things like that. But then again, it's just a lot more complicated than just slapping them down and calling it a day. And I'm not even gonna try it. Also, we're not really that far into Ender IO. Let's see. Travel anchors. So we would need to get pulsating crystals, or pulsating alloy. So I mean, we could do it to just like experiment around with it, but I think I want to try some share stones. So share stones from waystones basically allow for you to, if you wanted, color them and actually kind of create a system, like a kind of a network, right? Instead of using a normal waystone, which is like this right here, where it has a whole bunch of different, points that you've discovered, these are only shareable between the same color. And I was actually going to dye these probably red, because I think we have enough red dye for that. And so we could just have red share stones. But you can see it says teleport to any other red share stone. So what my thought is we put these down, and I was kind of thinking maybe we put them in the center, but I want to try these out before we do that. So let's go 0. We'll just say top. We'll kind of describe what the floor is. And then let's go downstairs. All right, so now we're just going to test this. So I come over here, storage. Never mind, wrong floor. Yeah, you get the teleporting sound, though. Dimension. What is that sound called? Do. I don't even know what that's... Oh, they're portal travel. I think if we turn that off... I mean, that's a pretty quick method. Especially because if we're going further down, let's keep going with this. I think this is a good option. Not 100% sure. I'd love to hear what you guys think. I mean, I could try travel anchors. I don't know if that's the route I would want to go with. Not 100% sure. Not 100% sure at all. We will toss this one over here for right now. So we'll just say, what would this even be? We'll just do dash bottom floor, just because I don't know what number that would be. Okay. Hold on. Actually, I want to name this Mob Farms. That'll work. Okay, but yeah, I just wanted to quickly pop on here. We're just kind of doing some small things here. We're not doing anything major. We're not doing anything like life-changing right now. A lot of this stuff is just going to kind of be building up to getting this base to be fully functioning. And I think this actually adds a little bit to it. And I'm excited to see how much we use this. Probably I'll forget about it if I don't move it into the center. But we shall see. Alright, so I just initiated the ultimate test here. It looks like we're actually kind of cruising here. So, I just put all of the raw ore into the storage controller that I have in my current possession. And that allowed for me to get quite a bit of this stuff kind of just shot. And you could see that I don't think really anything... It did it in about like 30 seconds, by the way. I tried to get down here as quick as possible. That did not happen. Right now I'm just putting some stuff away that is in these locked drawers because I didn't have the proper ingots to fill them. And if I did, I just wasn't paying attention enough. So that should be good. What do we got here? So we got osmium and iron. So a lot of this stuff is firing. You can see that we aren't really running too low. Copper's always going. You can see that we do have a dip with the netherite furnace, which I expected, honestly, because the netherite furnace is like the most... and if we're afraid of that, we probably could look at getting just removing the speed augment. I mean, the speed augment probably makes this thing ridiculous. And you can see that now we're definitely not dipping as much. But if we have like major power issues, we'll address it then. But this is complete. Modular routers helped quite a lot here. I've also expanded this. The only thing I wish modular routers really had as of current is gas upgrades, or gas cards, or gas augments, or whatever. That would be super duper helpful. They don't, sadly, which, you know, one of these days, one person can dream, right? Let's see. So let's toss that away. Toss that away. So I just want to talk here for a second. I don't know how much more of the base moving I will record, because yesterday I didn't record because I was genuinely just like, I need to move stuff. What's interesting about moving stuff? Because let's take a tally on what we actually have left to move, right? So we've got the latex processing units, we've got the Fluix crystal production, we've got the Drigny, we've got mystical agriculture shenanigans, we've got the cabbage stuff down here, we got the botany pots, and I think everything down here besides the original AE2 system is done, right? So let's just take this out real quick. So I think for like this, we're going to actually clean this whole system up and basically attach the tofu, the oak drawer salt, and the water bottles, which look like they're completely out. We need to basically just like automate 90% of this stuff. Like the water bottles, I can probably keep a crafter with that, but everything else I can auto craft through AE2. Like genuinely, I don't need to have this whole setup. Same thing with the conduits. I could set it up in a matter of seconds. So, I mean, let's actually just look at that. How do we go about doing something like that? Alrighty, so let's look at cabbage rolls. Let's get this automated with AE2. So first things first, I've got a cooking pan in here. I think I actually have, or a cooking pot, and I have a frying pan. I thought I had a frying pan in here. Yeah, it's right here. Push that back in there. So what I should be able to do is get cabbage and then just look up the recipe and just encode pattern. We're going to allow substitutions here. So that'll encode. Do we got any more patterns here? 2. Let's grab 256. Okay. So that's the first part. Now we need to get tofu. Oh, did I actually? I think I may have been messing around here and I got tofu auto-crafted. Where is tofu? Tofu? Oh, it's right up here. So let's just clear these out here. We're going to just kind of restart on this whole thing. So let's grab a sink. Let's start there. Let's get water bottles, right? So the water bottle here requires water bucket. We don't need a water bucket. Just take that out of the equation, okay? We've got glass on tap, basically. So let's grab a sink. Let's grab an external storage, or no, storage bus, apologies. Going back to refined storage. Storage bus. Let's grab some Fluix cable. We're just going to set this here. And there we go. We've got unlimited water in our AE2 system. Okay, if you want to see that, you just type in water. You'll see that you have 2.1 million. And you can pull, push, whatever you need to do. Fantastic. Okay, so now if we do look at getting fresh water or water bottles here. For some reason, I keep calling them fresh water. It's probably because I've played too much Pam's Harvest Craft in my lifetime. And that's probably why. Anyway, so now I should just be able to put this in here. And we should be able to just say, hey, I need 128 of these water bottles. So it'll just use pure water. It won't use the buckets. It won't do any of that. It just grabs the water, uses it. Done. Simple. Awesome. Okay? So there you go. 128 of those. That's awesome. So now we'd want to go and probably make sure that I've taken the salt recipe. I think it's still in here. Oop, did I break something? Thought my furnace was at the bottom here, and I think I may have broke something. And I do love that this thing. What is this called again? Sharestone? Goodness gracious, I completely can't read English or speaking right now. But I think I have salt already put in here. So this, of course, is generic. Water bottle, salt. It equals salt after you put it in the furnace. We don't really need to change that out. It's just like any of these other recipes. So that should be good. Okay. So then what we're going to want to do is get a tofu recipe. Which recipe? So this does require a cooking pot and, of course, water bottle, water bucket. Actually, I guess in this case, we don't even really need the water bottle, right? Because you could just use the water bucket recipe. So let's do that. Let's go for water. Let's see. Can I set this to just water? I don't think it'll let me on this recipe. Interesting. Okay, we'll just stick with that. Hold on. Just accidentally cleared the recipe. Well, I'm curious though. If I could get this to work with water, it would not have to use glass, and I kind of want that. So let's go again. I don't think it's going to do it. And fluid substitutions are enabled. So let's just try that. Let's see if this will work like I want it to. So we'll go and look at tofu. You had to have traveled a way to get up here. That was a dirt bag of a bee. Okay. But let's see. So tofu. So if I said I want 256 tofu. Perfect. It works. Fluid substitutions are working. Okay, so that way we're avoiding making the actual water bottles. And that's fine by me. So we'll also get the cabbage roll recipe in there as well. So now what we should be able to do with the cabbage roll recipe is say I want 2,000, right? Oop, where is the cooking pot? I thought I had a cooking pot in here. I do have a cooking pot in here. It's probably because it was being used in another recipe. That's probably why. So, because we won't be crafting tofu independently, that should be fine. I'm not too worried about that. So if we said we wanted 2,000 cabbage rolls, which is ridiculous because we already have like 45,000, this should start going and crafting up that. Fantastic. Okay, now it's just making a crap ton of tofu. So let's go for a reasonable amount. Let's just say 20. Okay, there you go, 20, done. And you don't have to worry about anything really other, right? We don't have to worry about all the crafters. We don't have to worry about the lasers. The only thing that we need to do now is actually go back to the home area, the original area, and actually come down here and grab our drawers, because I want to actually get the cabbage rolls, the tofu that we have, and the salt. I don't really care about anything else here, but we're going to pick it up anyway. I'll just toss it in our system for another day. Yeah, we don't even need the fluid encapsulator anymore, which I kind of forgot was actually back here. So, it's a win-win. Honestly, I see this as being a complete and utter win. That we can get rid of a lot of the older stuff that we have. And this is the exact same thing with conduits, right? We could go ahead and we could set this whole system up with conduits, the conduit, the underwater thingy. This thing right here. And that would be fantastic as well. So, tons and tons of goodies that we can get going. And I'll remove all of these plants and stuff off camera, because I'm not too worried about those right now. But that'll be the whole conduit production, that whole pipeline of plants down there. So, we just need to get those moved. Okay. So, we've got this, got that, and that. We really don't need this one, I would say. We could probably live without it. The salt, we have 31,000. We will keep that until it most likely runs out. And then it's kind of useless at that point. So these guys probably still all have puller upgrades and stuff. Let's make sure. Puller. Okay. Let's get this stuff tossed in here. Crafters. See, and I'm glad we're getting rid of some of the bloat. That is also a very good thing, where we did stuff early on without really thinking it through. Which the cabbage rolls, we could even automate that with refined storage, let's be honest. So it's one of those things where I probably could have done something better, didn't do something better, but now we kind of have. So that's awesome. Okay. So let's go and do this one step further. So for cabbage rolls, I've got a requester up here. From ME Requester. There's also a refined storage version of this as well. Requester, you can see there is the Requester terminal. There's also the ME Requester. There's also the RS Requestify mod, which gives you a requester and a crafting emitter. And we're going to use this to actually keep the cabbage rolls in stock. So what I'm going to say, let's actually do this here real quick. Let's just make sure we take out some items, just so we don't have a ton of it. We're going to say cabbage rolls. No, I don't want it there. I want it at the very top. So we're going to say we want 25,000. Okay. And we're going to create the batch size of 64. You need to make sure that you submit changes, because if you do not, it will not keep it. So if we ever run out of cabbage rolls, which is highly unlikely, I probably won't ever use a whole lot of these. I think I've got about 1,500 on me, right? And this is from using an advanced feeding upgrade for quite a while now. I've actually, don't even think I ever mentioned this, but I made an advanced feeding upgrade, been using it for quite a while now, so that way I could take tank damage and, basically be completely and utterly fed 24/7 without holding it. Because, of course, right, holding something while trying to go in and out of the teleport pad causes issues, so we wanted to get stuff out of our offhand. Now I don't have to hold it, okay? So I will look at getting the conduit stuff set back up, using the requester. I may not even use the requester. We may look at some other methods of doing cutoffs. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Genuinely, I have been loving the support on these videos. I know I have not been consistent. I apologize. I also know that even though I haven't been uploading, people have been subscribing. And genuinely, thank you guys. Stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.